concerned over a proposed cell tower. Why they say this wouldn't be safe in their neighborhood park.
The heat is back, and so are weather impact alert days. I'll let you know just how hot we're going to get.
TSA now says you can wear your shoes through airport security. We're live at the San Diego airport.
A San Diego man drowns in Arizona while trying to save 2 children. How he's being remembered tonight.
The San Diego Unified School District is meeting right now and is expected to finalize a new cell phone policy in its schools. What parents need to know.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
Well, we begin tonight in Bayho, where residents are expressing concerns about a proposed cell tower in their community. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Shanna Handy, in tonight for Carla Chiquetto. Residents got a notice last month saying AT&T wants to put a 70-foot cell tower disguised as a tree in Cadman Park. That's where CBS 8's Steffi Rose joins us with more on the public pushback. Steffi?
Yeah, well, there's numerous signs opposing this cell tower here in Cadman Park. And there's even this pole here behind me with signs around it that the residents set up. We saw them setting it up to represent where that cell tower would go. Now, the city of San Diego tells me the proposed tower is in the very early stages of review. This notice of application went out to residents that live within a 300-foot radius of the site. Currently, the project is under review by the city's Development Service Department. Based on the current project scope and the proposed height of the tower, which the city says exceeds the 30-foot Claremont Mesa height limit, this project is subject to a city council approval. The proposal has sparked backlash from residents. A Change.org petition was launched to stop the project. Residents I spoke with say the tower would not only be an eyesore, but would create air pollution, be a fire hazard. Plus, there's concerns over the noise and disruption with building the tower.
Our biggest concerns really include the fire hazard, because this is a space where there's an unmaintained canyon down here below. So it's very easy for something to spark, and it'd take a while to actually turn the power grid off and stop the fire. And there also is not any fire hydrants anywhere close to this location, which would make it difficult for them to fight the fire.
Meanwhile, I did reach out to AT&T directly. In a statement, a spokesperson for the company tells me, quote, "We understand the importance of keeping customers connected to the services they depend on. The proposed cell site reflects our ongoing commitment to enhancing wireless service in the Bayho community. We await the city's decision and are exploring options to improve service for our customers." And the residents pushing back against the cell tower are going to be hosting a community meeting tomorrow at the North Claremont Rec Center. That meeting will begin at 6 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday evening. But for now, reporting live in Bayho, I'm Steffi Roche, CBS 8.
All right, thanks, Steffi. Switching gears now, we are in for some big changes in parts of the county less than 24 hours from now.
Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis joins us now with more on the heat alerts coming our way.
That's right. Brace yourselves, people. We're talking about some hot temperatures.
All right.
So we had some 90s today, but now we're going even warmer, especially east of the 15. That's what we're expecting to feel this heat. And then also on top of that, well, you got the intense summer sun. So we have weather impact alert days for the next couple of days, for Wednesday and Thursday, as we have this combination, these hot afternoon highs, all because of an area of high pressure that is amplifying over us. So that's going to bring in a lot more heat. It's also prompting some alerts. So you're looking at a heat advisory for the inland valleys, for the mountains as well, below 5,000 feet. That's with 90s for daytime highs. Could even see some of isolated cities right there along the foothills up to about 100 degrees. Also talking about the extreme heat warning for the desert, with those 1 teens back in the forecast. Haven't been in that range quite yet this year for the desert, but we're talking about starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning and lasting all the way until 8 p.m. on Thursday night. So we're going to take a look at some beat the heat tips, as well as knowing the signs for heat, stroke, and exhaustion coming up throughout the newscast. Back to you, Marcella.
Thanks, Carlene. And as always, you can find our extended weather forecast on CBS 8 Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Low clouds and the pilot's concerns about busy airports may have contributed to a plane crashing into the ocean last month off the coast of Point Loma.
That is according to a preliminary report just released by the NTSB today. Investigators say after the twin-engine Cessna took off from San Diego International Airport, the pilot reported he was struggling to maintain control of the plane. Data shows the aircraft made erratic movements after takeoff, dropping from 2,000 feet to just 200 feet, then climbing back up to 1,800 feet before crashing into the ocean. 6 people were on board. Despite a massive, nearly 3-day search, their bodies and most of the wreckage remain missing.
The next time you go to the airport, you may not have to take off your shoes. It's been nearly 20 years since passengers were first required to take off their shoes during security. Now TSA says it's okay to leave them on.
CBS 8's Alex Cheney spent the day out at San Diego International Airport. He joins us now live. Alex, what have you seen out there?
That's right, Marcella. I've been at the airport for several hours now. I'm standing just next to the security checkpoint, and every passenger that I've seen pass through there has had their shoes on.
It's about time. Expediency really is everything.
Yeah, those extra steps, yeah, it's very annoying.
After decades of asking passengers to remove their shoes through airport security, TSA now says you can keep them on, effective immediately.
TSA will no longer require travelers to remove their shoes when they go through our security checkpoints.
A memo from the TSA went out to airport staffs across the country last week, letting them know about the change, and every passenger we talked to today is happy about it.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
I don't like taking my shoes off.
Yeah, it was terrific. I didn't have to take my shoes off when I went through the gate.
Saves time, saves the crowdedness at TSA, the nightmare that can be, so I think it's a good thing.
If it makes life easier for all of these travelers, I think it's a wonderful thing.
The rule started after a man tried to ignite homemade shoe explosives on a flight from Paris to Miami in 2001. And TSA started the shoes off requirement 5 years later in 2006. However, Homeland Security says passengers who trigger the metal detector may still have to take off their shoes for an additional screening.
And it's important that we find ways to keep people safe, but also streamline and make the process much more enjoyable for every single person.
Now, I reached out to the San Diego airport today. I haven't heard back yet, but I don't know anything about any specific policy changes here at the airport, but I did see people having their shoes on in security today. Also, I've seen published reports saying that maybe some airports are not exactly making that policy change just yet. However, the TSA does say they want to ultimately have every airport in the country change their policy to let people keep their shoes on through the security process. Reporting live from the San Diego airport, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
A big change. Thanks, Alex. Developing news out of Lemon Grove, where city leaders announced today Council member Sativi Fai has died. Fai, who went by Steve, was elected to his first term last November. He was a football coach at Helix High School, and in a statement, the city said he was focused on improving public safety, addressing homelessness, and further efforts to support youth and families. He's survived by his wife and 2 children. A cause of death was not released. Fai was 50 years old. South Bay residents remain concerned about the region's ongoing Tijuana River sewage crisis.
That is according to the findings of a CDC survey taken last fall. It found 2/3 of the 2,000 people surveyed say they feel like the area is not safe to live in. 97% of respondents are concerned about air quality. A majority of people say they have also made lifestyle choices due to the sewage and have taken steps to avoid the area. More than 60% of parents say their kids have missed school because of sewage-related illness. The county has secured $650 million to fix the treatment plant, but that is still years away. The largest school district here in San Diego County is expected to adopt a new phone-free cell phone policy across all of its campuses. It happened during a board meeting tonight.
CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal reports from the district's headquarters with more on the policy and what parents are saying about it.
This is something the district has been working on for a long time. They got input from both students and parents and decided cell phones need to be turned off and out of sight during instruction time. They say they're doing this to really make sure that kids are paying attention in the classroom.
We're also following a lot of the research on brain development and the way that cell phone usage interrupts our brain development. And again, we're in charge of young people, and so we want to make sure that they're the healthiest they can be.
And that was Superintendent Dr. Fabiola Bagula. Now, this new policy is in response to a new state law that requires all California districts come up with a plan to limit the use of cell phones during school hours. San Diego Unified's policy applies to all grades from TK through 12th grade, and it takes effect on August 11th, which is the first day of school. Now, the big thing to note is that it pretty much bans cell phones during the school day, and phones must be stored somewhere like a student's backpack, but there are some exceptions. Students can use their phones before first bell, after dismissal, on buses, during extracurriculars. High school kids can use them during lunch and passing periods. Students can use them in emergency situations. Students with special needs may be able to use them with approval, and kids can also use them if a teacher allows them to as part of a classroom lesson. Now, everyone I talked to today agreed phones are distracting, and limiting them is a good thing.
I think it's a good idea. I think that the way our society is now, everyone kind of needs a cell phone. It's our way of communicating, and if the kids can be in touch with their parents and vice versa, I think that's good. But I really do think that putting it away during the instructional time is going to only be helpful.
Phones are very much a distraction in an environment that you want to learn. Not only it affects the environment of learning, it affects people's moods, mental health.
Now, the district shared with me the results of a survey from about a month ago where they asked for input from the public. They got a lot of responses, several pages worth. The vast majority of people said yes, finally. Some wanted an even stricter policy on the books. Others were concerned about enforcement, and there were a handful who did not support this, who wrote they do not want their child's phone taken away at all. Some said kids need them in case of an emergency. As for enforcement, the punishment level varies. First time is a verbal warning, but if the student continues to break the rules, a staff member could take that student's phone and hold it until the end of the day and require that student's parent to retrieve it. Kelly Hessedal, CBS 8.
Thanks, Kelly. We talk with an immigration attorney about ICE arrests in San Diego and more still ahead.
Well, that's why Governor Newsom is touring rural counties in South Carolina.
And a San Diego native drowns while trying to save the lives of 2 children. How he's being remembered tonight after this.